Hi everyone, welcome to Center of Balance Live. I'm Phua from Center of Balance, the acupuncturist. Wow, good morning. It is about 7 o'clock, 11 a.m. Pacific. How are you on Instagram? Thank you for joining us. So our topic today is angina. Hi Veronica, how are you today? Thank you for joining us. So we're going to talk about stable angina. Stable angina. Stable angina, of course, there's another term we call unstable angina. But we're going to focus on stable angina. Okay. When it comes to Chinese medicines and acupuncture, it doesn't matter whether it's stable angina or unstable angina, we treat it in the same way. Okay, we treat it in the same way. But for you as a patient, if you suffer from angina, then what happened is stable angina, unstable angina, it's much easier to deal with for yourself with stable angina because you can predict when it's going to happen. Okay, so a new topic, we talk about chest pain, right? Now today, we open a new topic called stable angina. So what is stable angina? Now, angina is a type of chest pain. When we talk about chest pain, now we know chest pain can cause for angina, and angina causes chest pain. Where is the pain? The pain will be in your chest over here. More likely to work into the left side of your chest or in the middle, right? It can go to your hand as well, pain or tingling, right? Especially on the left side. So angina is a type of chest pain that results from reduced blood flow to the heart. If your heart couldn't get blood flow itself, well, we know heart pump blood to the entire body to support your nutrient and oxygen, right? So the nutrient and nutrient and oxygen is in the blood. So which means the blood carry the nutrient and oxygen to the entire body. That's how it keep you alive, and if you're sick, that's how it help you to heal. Without blood flow, blood circulation, you're not gonna heal. Okay, without blood circulation, we die. So we're talking about if the blood flow slows down, or if you can't get blood flow, right? If there's a blockage, then you can't get the blood flow, then things happen. Or if there's not enough blood, lack of blood, right? And you get trouble. Now, a lack of blood flow means your heart muscle isn't get enough oxygen, right? And as well as nutrient, of course. And that's why pain started. That's why you start to get chest pain. Oh, that's because the heart. Now, what does heart do? We just mentioned that the heart pump. This is the heart, and heart need to pump. A pump, when the heart do this contraction, it pump the blood go to the entire body, right? So what is this doing? This is the muscle of the heart that contract, right? If you go for run, see the activities that we do, we're using our body to do all the activity. All the activity, even though I'm talking at the moment, we can't go without muscle. With the bone, if you just have body, if body structure is bone, muscle, tendon, joint, right? This is all structure. All the structure, if I'm raising my hand, I had to. The reason I can raise my hand is because the muscle contraction. And again, pumping, this activity, this exercise, pump the blood out of the heart to the entire body. It's actually using the muscle of the heart, right? So when we do this exercise, pumping, contraction, that means you need blood flow to supply it. Otherwise, it won't have energy, it won't have power to pump. Make sense? Right. Now, the chest pain in angina, the chest pain means the muscle of the heart didn't get enough oxygen. That not enough oxygen and nutrient is due to the muscle that hasn't got enough blood flow supply into it. So this pain, chest pain, is very often triggered by physical activity or emotional stress. Two things that trigger it very, very much: physical activity or emotional stress. Some people go for a walk, run. Oh, they can't run, they can't do that kind of exercise, which is kind of good in a good way. It in a way that's good in stable angina, because you know what triggered, you know. For unstable angina, which means you can go for a run and no problem, but sometimes it gives you problem. And people say, I have angina, but I can do everything, no problem. But suddenly they can't. There you can't track it. And that is going to become dangerous for you, because it may suddenly take your life away. Okay? So stable angina means it happened for a reason, and you can track it. Okay? Now, stable angina, also called angina pectoris, is the most common type of angina, very common, the most common compared with the unstable angina. So stable angina is a predictable pattern of chest pain. So it's predictable, you see. Right? You can usually track the pattern based on what you are doing, what you feel the pain in, when you feel the pain in the chest. So tracking stable angina can help you manage your symptom more easily, right? If you get cold in the morning, like it's very cold, and you get when the weather change and you get out in the morning, it's a bit more cold. You feel more cold, and you start to feel uncomfortable in your chest, and they may lead to chest pain. Then what are you gonna do? Keep yourself warm. Turn on the heat pump in the morning, so you can prevent it. You can make yourself feel better. If you go for a run, it happens each time. So just do not go for a run. Just go for a walk. If you're angry, if you feel sad and you start to be angry and you get chest pain, then managing your emotion is the number one thing that you have to do. Okay, so that's why we call it's a predictable pattern of chest pain when it comes to stable angina. Okay, I'll keep saying stable angina. Well, what is unstable angina? Unstable angina is another form of angina. So it happens suddenly and gets worse over time. It may eventually lead to a heart attack, right? So you can't track it. It suddenly come. You don't know when it's gonna come. You know, you can just walk and it happen. You can just sit there doing nothing and it happen. Nothing to do with emotion, nothing to do with exercise. No. So unstable angina become suddenly it's difficult to track. It's become more dangerous. You know. Okay, that's between stable angina and unstable angina. Okay. So though stable angina is less serious than unstable angina. So keep in mind when it comes to angina, there is two types: one stable angina, one unstable angina, and that's less serious in stable angina. Okay, but it's still not comfortable, though. Even though we say, well, less stable, less serious, uh, and stable angina, it's still not comfortable. It's still scary. Huh? It's still scary. Even though, especially when you start, you get those symptoms. But people tend to get used to it. A patient gets angina, and they say, "Yeah, it's just angina." They got used to it. And really, I got patients got used to it. Right. So it can be painful and uncomfortable. Both type of angina are usually signs of an underlying heart condition. So it's important to see your doctor as soon as you have symptoms, because then you have to do a lot of tests to pick up what's going on. Okay. Well, more commonly they'll give you drugs, warfarin or aspirin to thin the blood, to keep the blood flow to your heart. Okay. Right. That's it for today. Simple, right? It's just give you an idea. Yeah, Veronica, you connected today. That's great. So actually, this is just giving you an idea what is angina. Okay, and they actually come with stable angina and unstable angina. Okay, then further on, we're gonna talk about what causes stable angina, what are the symptoms of stable angina. Okay, then what are the risk factor for stable angina. So in what it means in what situation that you, in what conditions that you may end up with stable angina, or you may have a high risk for stable angina. So and what do you do that you end up with stable angina? So we want to discuss this. If we know if you're in a high risk, then you can change this. You can prevent it. It's preventable. Angina is preventable. Okay, and how to diagnose stable angina? How to diagnose? So, how is stable angina treated? How do we treat it in Western medicine? Okay, and we talk about lifestyle. And how do we do in lifestyle? What can we do? Okay, and of course, I'm an acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist, and we're going to talk about what do we do? How do we treat using acupuncture? Right, using acupuncture. What is the point strategy? We're going to discuss this way. And then we're going to, another topic is using acupressure point. Then I have patients just simply using acupressure point and they reduce the pain a lot. I'm going to share this story with you when it comes to acupressure point. Right? And we're going to talk about lifestyle change, diet change to help with stable angina. Okay, this is all the topic we're going to talk about all over a week. right, about 8 or 9 days. Okay, I hope that's going to help you. This information and this information shared with you. If you're my patient on my Facebook page, or if you are not a patient, and that's okay. And I hope you get you find help on this video and live video. And if you're an acupuncturist and it's just a general information, I hope that can refresh your knowledge. And when it comes to acupuncture, then that's something that I want to share with you, and hopefully those strategy will help your patient as well. Okay, all right. Stay awesome, and I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, tonight, if you're an acupuncturist, we will have a Bai Hui 12 needle strategy, treating the entire body pain and organs issues. So I hope you join us tonight. If you haven't, and go to our Facebook and check on our post and register. We have so far, let me see, we have 242 attendees registered. Okay, so we will record it, and once we record it, and you can replay it later on. Right? Stay awesome, and I love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hi, happy day. How are you? I'm good. Hey, on Instagram. Thank you.